let's jump into basketball. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my problem about this next game. I'm looking past it. I don't care about UCF. Wichita State plays UCF. They've lost their best player, and Wichita State already beat them at home. Okay, I care about this game. I want the Wichita State Shockers to win, but at the same time, that Cincinnati game's coming up, and that's the one everybody wants to see, and that's the big one that's going to mean so much. Hopefully the players are not looking past it, but I am. We talk about this every time, I know. What can we expect? Wichita State at UCF Thursday, 6 o'clock on ESPN, on the mothership, on ESPN. What can we expect out of this game? Any surprises or as expected?
It just depends on the psyche of the Shockers.
Sure, yeah.
It really does. If they're ready to play, if they're taking the night seriously, as they should, they're going to win by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
But if they sort of take their foot off the gas pedal, looking towards Cincinnati game, which you're doing, then
I am.
there could be a letdown.
Yep.
Because UCF, still without Taco Fall, has a top 10 defense on Ken Palm. Yeah. And this is a team that really, when they're playing great on defense, they can lock down anyone in the nation.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to watch out for their defense. Offensively, the Knights are pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
And so,
especially without Taco.
Yes, without Taco. And so in Wichita, I was kind of surprised because the Shockers won by 19 in the first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would be a little lower scoring game and a little closer margin. But the Shockers played well. I know Shaq had a great game.
Well, and he was benched.
He was benched,
he was not in the starting lineup. He did play. He only played like 20 minutes or so. But yeah, that woke him up. That was the start of what we needed from Shaq and what we have seen from Shaq this second half of the season. So that was a good thing. And Connor was on the bench too, if I remember right, in that game. So but they still won by 19 at home. It's tougher on the road. We know that.
It always is.
UCF. They've lost 2 in a row now. They lost at Temple, at Tulsa. So they're coming back home. They know this is a big one. They're 500 in the conference, 17-11 overall. Of course, Wichita State's on that 6-game winning streak. So it's tough to pick against the Shockers in this one.
It certainly is. And I think the Shockers are going to win by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't surprise me if this was a closer game. I know UCF doesn't have a tremendous fan base for basketball, but when there's a good opponent that comes to town, they're going to pack that place.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on ESPN. And so the fans are going to be loud. It's going to be a hostile environment. And so I think the Shockers are just going to have to score early and often.
Yeah.
Because when UCF played Temple this past weekend, Temple started the game, I believe it was either 13-0 or 16-0.
Really?
Right?
Oh, wow.
And so they scored quickly, and UCF just couldn't score and couldn't keep up with them. And so, as we've talked about before, the Shockers don't have a great defense right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But UCF's offense isn't great either. And so I see this another game where the Shockers' elite offense trumps the Knights' elite defense.
Yep. It's in Orlando. It's a long trip, or just north of Orlando, the Sanford Lake Mary area. But they'll be heading to Orlando again fairly soon. So maybe this is a nice little preview of that trip for the conference tournament. But Wichita State at UCF Thursday, 6 o'clock on ESPN.